Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here. Today we're comparing the 6.2 V8 to the 3.0 diesel in the new Tahoe / Suburban to see which engine is the best one to go for. Before we begin this video, big shout out and thank you to the Jerry Signer Chevy here in Salt Lake. Link to their website in the description down below. Link to my car buying guide too. Let's get into it. The 6.2 liter V8 goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 14 around town, 18 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 460 pound-feet of torque. 3 liter inline 6 diesel also goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy is 20 around town, 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 305 horsepower and then 495 pound-feet of torque. I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. It's completely free and it really helps out the channel. Now the biggest difference between the Duramax and the V8 is the Duramax badge. Okay, just kidding, but they don't have any sort of V8 badging on the V8. Anyways, the Duramax has 1,266 pounds of payload capacity and then 7,800 pounds of towing. And this vehicle weighs about 6,400 pounds. Now the V8 has 1,395 pounds of payload capacity, 7,900 pounds of towing, and it actually weighs less at closer to 6,300 pounds. Now these are both Suburban high countries, and the V8 is 92,520, whereas the diesel is 92,175. Let's see which one performs the best. Suburban with the 6.2 V8. It's cool that General Motors is still offering a big V8 where everyone else is running away from V8s. Now, the Suburban is definitely a big beast. It is basically the size of a full-size pickup truck, but it's fully enclosed, so it kind of has a, I wouldn't say like a cramped feel to it. That's not very accurate. I would say it just, it's different. Like when you have a pickup truck bed, it's like your visibility is better because you don't have as much in the way, but like this being all closed in, yeah. But the camera rear view mirror kind of fixes a lot of that. Now I will say General Motors air suspension is wonderful. Smooths out the ride really well over bumps and everything. Kind of little bumps, it kind of deletes them a bit, which is nice. It's just really comfortable in general. Yeah, not bad at all. Man, that is some torque. That is some torque. And it's smooth torque as well, which is nice. Yeah, over the train tracks, again, that air suspension, I mean, you can hear it, but it deletes a lot. A lot of the rough and tumble is just kind of gone with the air suspension system, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, and over this is a good example, like these little areas where they've filled in on the asphalt. You can feel a little bit of it, but for the most part it kind of gets rid of a lot of it. It's really quite impressive. And the seats in this are a little bit firmer, but overall they're pretty comfortable. So this gives you V8 power, V8 response, which is really nice. Well, I just wanted to wait so we get like another little acceleration here. And wait for it. Yeah, there's a lot to pull from. Sorry, not the best acceleration, but there's a lot to pull from. Anyways, you get the V8 power, the V8 torque. It's comfortable. Sounds good. It's kind of like it's a solid setup on a full-size SUV. Diesel, back to back with the V8. It's always an interesting comparison because the torque figures aren't all that different. It's the horsepower that's the biggest difference. And, you know, turbocharged versus NA, diesel versus gas. But I will say GM is definitely winning because they're offering not only a big V8, but also a diesel. Kind of the best of both in a way. Now I will say the V8's got good response right off the bat, and it's smooth. I think this is maybe a little bit smoother. It just has a little bit of a better low end to it. Makes sense, it's got a little bit more torque. I do feel like I have to get into it a little bit more because of that lack of horsepower. That V8's pretty smooth actually, now that I'm kind of thinking back to back. V8 does a really good job with having consistent power, I would say. I will say though, this might sound a little bit cooler. I like the sound of a diesel more than the sound of a V8. I think the diesel just I don't know. It's a little bit more of a pleasant kind of experience with the low hum that you get. It's like, why is this Bronco taking forever? That makes sense, they're going across. Yeah, the delivery on this is great. And the diesel goes well with the theme of the Suburban and Tahoe, right? Because they're just, you know, big SUVs. They're not about being a race car. So having something that doesn't have a lot of horsepower but has a lot of torque, I think it makes quite a bit of sense. Yeah, the torque that this provides is really, really good. You just kind of hold it at like 3,000 RPMs and it just moves. So should you go diesel, should you go V8? Pricing's not too different. The V8 is a little bit more expensive. The diesel, you're gonna have to worry about DEF, which is a big downside for general cost of ownership, and then long-term reliability as well. So it is something to consider. But other than that, I mean, they tow about the same amount. I mean, I guess the V8 has more payload capacity because the diesel's a heavier engine. So that is a benefit of the V8, is you get more payload and you have a slightly lighter vehicle. But really, I think both powertrains are great. And again, the power, although this doesn't have the top end of the V8, it's got great power. The power of the diesel is just quite impressive, so yeah, let me know if you go diesel or V8. I'm kind of leaning towards the diesel a little bit. Sorry, I keep sneezing, this is crazy. I kind of lean towards the diesel a little bit, but I do think that the V8 is really cool, and it sounds like they're working out the reliability quirks with the V8, so it should be a solid powertrain because of, you know, once that stuff's done.